Thank you. Now turning to the breaking news of the morning. Violent protests continuing across the country. People taking to the streets demanding justice for George Floyd. Floyd died earlier this week, and video of a police officer kneeling on his neck for several minutes, sparking calls for justice. That officer arrested yesterday, but protesters say that was not enough. The violent protests stretching into Brooklyn, with police arresting nearly 200 people. Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis live in Clinton Hill this morning with the latest. Marcus.
And Mike, this was one of the real flashpoints of that conflict, and you can see some of the damage here. It's become a point of curiosity in the neighborhood, with people coming by, taking pictures, looking at some of these vehicles that were damaged, the windshields blown out. That car that had been sitting outside the precinct with a boot on it, that was set on fire. And then another NYPD cruiser with its windows all blown out, vandalized, as anger spilled over. So those protests did turn violent as hundreds of protesters gathered outside. First, the Barclays Center. The bottles were thrown at officers. There was a police van that was set on fire, and some officers injured in the exchange. Police eventually did move in, make some arrests. And here outside the 88th precinct, there was another clash as large crowds gathered. The vehicles were vandalized. Also happening at the 79th precinct, where protesters tried to breach and enter the precinct, but they were pushed back by police. Additional arrests made there. Now, earlier in the day, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who agrees with the violence, but some police and elected officials admitting they understand the outrage associated with George Floyd's death.
That is something that no police officer anywhere in this country would condone.
I get it. I've lived this, seen this from Rodney King forward. That's why the outrage. That's why the frustration and the anger. It is not about one situation. It's about the same situation happening again and again and again and again.
Well, it is estimated that some 200 people arrested in New York City and Brooklyn last night. The exact number not yet known. A little bit later on this morning, the public advocate Jumanji Williams and other elected officials will be having a briefing outside the Barclays Center. We, of course, will bring you all the information on that.